Happy Friday, everyone. This is Rich calling in poolside. We had a little bit of a mishap this week. We dropped the camera in the pool, and unfortunately, we didn't get the first couple minutes of our national webinar. Well, good news. I'm going to bring you into the footage that we do have here real quick with the masterful Jeff McWilliams introducing some strategies around identifying viable opportunities. This is part of our national launch or lunch webinar around our new app, our new website, and some little tips and tricks around how to be able to deliver a sales conversation effectively and the tools and resources ACDI has to provide in these scenarios. All you guys enjoy. It's Friday. I'm getting back to the pool.
On average, this number of people are involved in the buying decision. It's 5.4. I don't know how you get 40%
How do we
of a
get
person.
0.4 of a person, right? How does that happen?
Maybe it's like 5 adults and a 12-year-old.
That's probably right.
That's probably it. But on average, 5.4. So if you are forecasting a deal for this month and you have one key person you're talking with, know that there are probably 4.4 other people that are involved that we don't know. So I think the question you have to ask yourself is, do I have the right decision makers involved in this process? While I'm forecasting it up for this month, it's being forecasted to me. Realistically, how many people are actually involved? If you have 4, 6, 7, you're on the right track. Okay, so if you don't, write that company down and try and figure out who else is involved in this process. Next part, CFD, clear future dates. If your deal doesn't have on the calendar an agreed upon clear future date, it may not be as legit. In other words, whether it's paperwork arriving in your inbox, if it's a signing meeting where you're going to run over T's and C's, if it's a project deployment discussion with key stakeholders, what is the next agreed upon clear future date? CFDs. Rich can attest to this. We are calendar heavy. So when we're in meetings and we talk about what's going to happen next, hey, get your phone out. I don't know if you're like me, but I'm also calendar obsessed. Can we put down here real quick, follow up on Tuesday, 10:45. Let's get back together. And also, by the way, know who is responsible for doing what. So between now and the clear future date, who's doing their part to make sure the opportunity accelerates down the path towards closure. Here's another key indicator. Rich, this is emailing. Your box gets filled up throughout the week, the day, and the month. The question is, have we been emailing? Why is that so important? Well, here's another statistic. Gong, who measures call quality for actionable revenue intelligence, says that if you don't average about 8 emails per week on a hot deal, it's not likely going to close.
Very interesting. I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of activity, but I think it's right. I don't hear from somebody for a long time. I don't know if it's a real thing anymore, right?
Yeah, you kind of get worried. Let's just say that number's crazy and we cut it in half, right? We're in sales. Let's just say it's 4. If you're not corresponding 3, 4, 5 times throughout the week on clear future dates, shared responsibilities, what the next action item is, and when this deal is going to close, there's a good chance it's not hot. So I will tell you, as today's the 21st, we like to close stuff up by the Friday of the week before the month closes. So the month closes next Thursday. So we have a strategy across the sales team to try and go chase down deals for Friday of this week. If it doesn't close, that's great. We've got 4 days next week to help clean up all the paperwork. So emailing 8 times. Finally, how much time has passed? Rich talked about this. If there's no communication, if we don't have a clear future date, should be under 5 days at the most. Anything over 5 days seriously gets into that risk category that it's not going to close. So key stakeholders, email communications, is there a clear future date, and how often have we been doing this? And then the last thing I'll say, guys, when we talk about this kind of informally, if there's no clear future date, it ain't hot. So it's not coming. So press for those. If you're not getting anything from your reseller or from your customer, guys, don't hesitate to send out a calendar invite. Rich, you ever do that? You just fire off a calendar invite and hope somebody accepts it?
Yeah, it's like bombing the landscape and one of them will hit. inevitably. But hopefully most of them were received well because we've already talked about that calendar invite coming their way. But sometimes it's a strategy. Hey, here's a date. I've been talking with some of my resellers and trying to stir up some traffic in different markets. And hey, do you have 15 minutes? Drop an invite on their calendar. Give them a reason to pick up that invite and say yes. It's a strategy, and sometimes people are just like, hey, what's this about? Let's do it. So definitely try any way you can to get that date on a calendar. I agree with that.
I think as an example, Rich, if I ask you, hey, next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, what day works best for you to catch back up? What are your initial thoughts?
Well, then I think you've already asked me to be there Tuesday or Wednesday, so I've really got to pick one of those 2 days unless I'm not interested. And that's another thing you might hear, but at least we framed it up, and I'll probably give you Tuesday. Tuesday's a good day for me. Taco Tuesday. I like that
Taco
day.
Tuesday to talk about things that I haven't shared with you. So they're my hidden agenda, and I'm forcing you to actually pick a day. Guys, one of the things I'll tell you that's worked great for us is to fire off a calendar invite, followed by an email that says, I just fired this thing off. Hopefully you can accept it. I want to cover these 2 things. And those 2 things should be in the calendar invite, somewhere down in the meat, A and B, 1 and 2, whatever those things are. That way, Rich doesn't have to think about what day next week or what time next week. It's, do I hit yes or no on the invite? It's that simple.
Bill's out here. He has some good advice. He said, never ask for a meeting date. Always suggest the meeting date.
Who's Bill?
I like that.
I like Bill already.
Yeah.
The Bill Willoughby?
The Bill Willoughby, yes.
Yeah. Hey, little shout out to Wisconsin. Won a little football game last night, Bill Willoughby. No. Okay. Let's bounce. Let's change gears entirely, but this is going to make sense. My question when I meet with people is, what are you listening to? Who are you taking advice from? How do you walk off 20 minutes in the afternoon, stay connected to work, but expand your tool set, keep your saw sharp, whatever. I'm going to give you 3 podcasts that I have stolen from, such as deal attributes, clear future dates, emails, and decision makers. Those deal attributes come from these podcasts. Here we go. Number 1 is the Advanced Selling Podcast. This is the longest running sales podcast known to Rich, to man, in the history of podcasts. The one I listened to last week was episode 667. It is getting deals unstuck in the middle of the process. What do you think 666 was? Getting deals unstuck at the beginning. And 668 will be getting deals unstuck at the end. These are 12, 15 minutes, 2 sales professionals talking about how the deal got stuck, what to do to get it unstuck. Pretty simple stuff. This goes by super quick. So I would encourage you guys, if you on your weekly sales meetings are looking for sales topics, is to pop one of these things out to the sales team. Say, hey, listen to 667. Let's chew on ideas to get deals unstuck in the middle. It's fantastic. Also, the author of this podcast is a professional NFL referee. And if you watch the Colts-Rams game on Sunday, you watch the Colts get beat, which stunk for me. But Brian is actually the umpire, number 92, who stands about 12 feet behind the quarterback and off to the side a little bit. So when there's a little fight after a play gets over with, he'll run in there, throw his flag, and say, break it up. Well, he took a shot to the face on Sunday. It's the first time I've ever seen a referee get punched in the face. So if Brian's listening, hope you're healed up nicely. But he's an awesome guy. It's a wonderful podcast. Second one is How to Be a Better Human. This last one I listened to had to do with vulnerability and bravery in your career path. And I liked it so much because one of the tips and tricks it talked about was not waiting 2 or 3 years to reconnect with somebody who may not think the way you do, may not be inside your camp, somebody you'd like to work with, but you're not currently, is to fire off a quick text message that just says, hey, Rich, hope you're doing well. Thought about you today. You don't have to do anything with this. Just know I was thinking about you. Cheers.
Jeff, that feels good.
Does that feel good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You text me anytime. I like that. Keep it coming.
Okay. So I'll show you at the end of this thing. So what I'd like you to do is to figure out who is somebody over the last 6 months. Maybe it's a customer, maybe it's a business associate, maybe it's a vendor you worked with that you haven't spoken with in a while. And maybe it's your brother-in-law. Just shoot him a quick text. Hi, thinking about you. That's it. Have a great day. The key thing about that is when you need that person in your life or you make that phone call and you request some time, it's less weird because you've been communicating along the way. Just shoot little nuggets of kindness. I love that.
Yeah, Jen just shot me a text. She said she's thinking of me.
Who did?
That makes me feel good, Jen. Thank you. Thank you
Let's
so
see
much.
if I got any. I don't even have one text from anybody.
So I'll text you. I'll text you in
Okay.
a minute.
Yeah, but this one's cool. So we've got Advanced Selling Podcast. We've got How to Be a Better Human. This one was on career paths. Vulnerability and bravery was awesome. And then the most recent one I listened to was one that Meg turned me on to this year. It's called Freakonomics Podcast. If you ever read the book, I got it up here on my shelf. It's very cool. It's on behavioral economics, why people do what they do. This episode is called All You Need Is a Nudge. So what is the nudge and what is the sludge? So a nudge is anything that removes barriers from a process. It's not a tax or a tariff that provides a negative consequence. So if you don't do this, then here's the negative outcome. That's not what a nudge is. A nudge is trying to grease the skid for someone to easily make a decision. So it's not just a poke like your parole officer just checks in with you time to time. Basically, it's trying to say, I've got you lined up for a new job, a better way of life, a program, whatever those are nudges. Sludge is paperwork, sales prevention, barriers to the process, overthinking product and going too far down the feature dump. That's sludge. That gets people wound around the axle, as Matt Bennett used to say. But this podcast is fantastic. Freakonomics episode 474. Where in your life? Simple things like putting this month's special at eye level in the grocery store. That's a nudge. So what are you putting at eye level at your dealership so your customers can see it quickly? You remove barriers. So anyway, that's a cool one. All right. Rich, anything else on these guys?
You know what? I got a lot of listening to do here. Sounds like I've done 2 of the 3. I've done Freakonomics and I've done Advanced Selling. I've not done How to Be a Better Human, and I will look into that one right now.
Yeah, it's, we'd have a Friday sales meeting. You guys are all probably familiar with it. We hold it at 10:30 Eastern every Friday, and we'll come in with some type of topic about how reseller development, opportunity generation, moving a deal through the pipeline. But a lot of times it's supplemented with these talk tracks. So don't spin your wheels inventing something new. Go steal it from these podcasts. It's fantastic. Speaking of apps, here it is.
Jeff, what? That looks like an iPhone. Jeff.
It is. It's my iPhone. It's a screenshot of mine under my business tab. If you see in the top left up here, guys, we've got the new ACDI app. It is currently in beta testing. Pete and the wonderful marketing team have been guiding us sales and service and marketing people through what does the best app on the planet look like? We're working on it. So iteration number 1 goes live on Monday, October the 4th. So today's kind of a sneak peek. You've got a week and a half until it's available for everybody. And here's what's awesome about it. So you can attend webinars, show paper cut and other product videos, request live chat. Hey, Rich, if somebody wants to talk to you via the chat app, can they do that?
Saturday morning, 2 in the morning, Sunday afternoon, NFL football, any time of the day. I'm there with that chat app. Absolutely.
Chat app. That's great. You can download case studies, white papers, success stories, video, whatever type of collateral you can distribute from there as well. So if you're talking with somebody, say, just hold on a second, pull the app up, go look at UAMS, that case study for healthcare, fire off a live video to somebody. They can click it and watch it real time. And then, of course, we have training courses as well. So I just got a text from Mark Hart. Let's see what he says. Oh, I got the you're the best. Doug Murphy, thank you. You guys are lighting me up. This is great. Mark's in an airport in front of a bar watching us right now. That sounds very Mark Hardish, doesn't it?
And I'm poolside, Mark. Good to hear from you.
So the left screen on webinars and trainings is a placeholder, so it's kind of a dummy screen for right now. But the list of upcoming events will be there. You guys can join this. It'll populate your calendar. We'll never miss another one of these again. For those of you who are more into the management of your customer and reseller experience, such as licensing, job tickets that are out there that have been placed for support, ongoing professional services projects, and then also if you want to just do a paper cut quote request, all that stuff will be available. If you want to submit for a card analysis because your customer has one of these fancy new cards and you've never seen this before, and you want to know what type of card reader reads fancy card. That for you. Do all that. And then finally, I think interested in a demo, that's going to be an awesome one. You could submit for that. We'll get you lined up and go from there. So there's a lot more forthcoming. This is the part where, as much as I wanted to tease this, you can't have it until Monday, October the 4th. So set yourself a reminder. Pete and the marketing team are going to kick out an email afterwards reminding you guys to go get this, whether it's through the App Store or Google Play. And we have an aggressive goal. The first 90 days is to have 86 million people sign up. Now, if we land on 3,000, that'll be great, right, Rich?
Shoot high, Jeff. Shoot high.
Shoot high. Yeah, I think that'd be great. So anyway, we'll probably be doing some drawings for some free swag. You could get a tacos hat, a Goonies Hawaiian shirt, whatever. We'll be giving stuff away. So if you get signed up and you encourage your mates at your company to do it, that'd be awesome. In the meantime, for sales and marketing collateral, for signing up for demos, for enrolling in a training course, for looking at the reseller toolbox, we have a new website. It's pretty fantastic. Scrolls nicely. Rich asked me if I was going to show it real time, and kind of cheating. So we're going to go through screenshots. You want to do it live? We could do it live.
If anybody, if anybody just wants to follow along, I think it's, acd-inc.com. I'm really impressed with the sleek layout. As somebody who gets asked quite a bit about where they can find resources, where we can go to get something done. I think it's really well organized and should help.
Yeah, awesome. Several years in the making. It's to help you guys look as credible as possible when you're working with ACDI in front of an enterprise that may be in multi-locations, multi-countries, and they're in a full-fledged risk mitigation conversation. How do I know that if I join partnership with you and ACDI and PaperCut that my life's going to be better? The website should hopefully ease whatever suspicion someone's got, because if you click on business solutions, check this out. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. If it's MF, Hive, or Multiverse, so we've got that under print management. Under fleet management, a lot of you are current KPAX customers for your clients. That's awesome. Storyboard for data analytics for PaperCut has its own section. Under the document management side, we've got ScanShare for capture and routing and all kinds of fun stuff. Secure access, here's your card readers. ELATEC, RFIDs, the biometric reader, which is identity for your thumbprint. We've got OEM specific hardware as well you can click on. Client says, hey, I don't have any infrastructure for print management software. Who hosts this? The answer is yes. We all do. I host it, Rich hosts it, Mark hosts it, ACDI does. You want to click on there, you can learn more about it. Payment software, and then of course, hardware solutions at the end. Your coin ops for your libraries, universities, school systems, anybody that wants bill back. Pretty comprehensive, Rich, don't you think?
There's so much to do here. I don't think there's any conversation that I can't bring up something interesting to somebody right now, because we've got it all laid out right there.
Perfect. That's the answer I was looking for. Now, resources. What can we provide you guys on the enablement side, whether it's industry specific, case studies, videos, get a demo? It's all here on the Resource Hub. If you click on resources, this is not new. This is an updated landing page for everyone using our collateral. And if you are curious how ACDI can help your team's marketing efforts, setting up either your website, drip campaigns, account-based marketing, whatever, make sure you use our team's experience, lean into it as much as possible. Next part on here too, just a quick reminder, tips and tricks, get someone from your dealership trained technically. We've been holding them about every other month. The next one's October 19th, 20th, and 21st. ACDI is open for business. We follow all CDC guidelines for social distancing, temperature checks. Anyway, without going into it's a safe, productive environment. We've been doing it for the last several months, ushering through anywhere between 6 and 12 people per session in technical training. So by all means, get signed up in there. Okay. Reseller toolbox. This is awesome as well. We showed on the app the different things you could do, from requesting a demo, a trial, card reader analysis, become a reseller, and also the PaperCut portal, which is down here in the bottom right. We try not to step on each other's marketing toes about content creation. A lot of times we'll repurpose all the great things that PaperCut creates. Oftentimes, PaperCut will go and do phenomenal things like creating online sales courses. Jeff, tell me more. What are you talking about? Well, if you click on the portal and you drop in, you can take a look at today's stories. Again, the bottom left down here, I like this thing. Is it okay to use another reseller's case study? Somewhere there's a song about OPP in there, I think. It's okay, right?
I don't think they wrote it about that, but we'll go with it.
Okay. So the answer is, of course, you can. You can use another reseller's case study if you'd like. If you want to get your sales saw sharpened, jump in here and take one of these courses. The basic one on Sales Foundation is here. I get a report. I think Jen and Laura send it over. It's about every Monday. It shows the new list of people who have taken it. It's not just for people who only talk about print management software. It's not for a new hire going through orientation. It's not for a 5-year veteran. It's for anybody who wants to know more about PaperCut and how it fits into almost any vertical market. Speaking of vertical markets, I'm going to shift gears here for a second and talk about healthcare. Rich, what have you been doing in healthcare?
Been busy, Jeff. We've been really busy, focusing around ambulatory and what we call maybe the lower hanging fruit in that system. People think of healthcare as just hospitals, right? But we know that there's a lot of other sub units underneath that that need some care and feeding and watering. And we've had a lot of activity recently, so much that we've gone out and start to build a program for our resellers on how to be successful and how we can help them be successful in that space.
When you ask a partner this question, when I ask you about healthcare, what immediately comes to mind? What kind of nervous answer do you get when people really just think about healthcare?
Hospitals.
That's it. Why do people just go there?
They're very big, and there's a lot of opportunity within those walls, but that's also a very long sales cycle, and it takes time to get through it. So sometimes a strategy is to work on the other side and work your way into these smaller clinics or non-affiliated entities to roll up to the inside walls of the main campus.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's what happened. This is, and Rich has heard me talk about this. This is, I don't know if it's life imitating art or art imitating life, but about 9 months ago, at the start of this year, we made it known in our sales team that more demo requests, more proofs of concept, more trials, which have led to more orders around behavioral and mental health, continue to roll in. So anytime Rich and his resellers seal a deal with a behavioral or mental health, the order gets logged in our Zoho CRM by the name of the company /mental health /behavioral health. So we can see in real time daily what's hitting, and it's been unbelievable. So we've been doing this experiment where we just kind of focus in on behavioral mental health, and Maggie and Anthony have been doing a great job with the OEM team, communicating with partners, a successful strategy. So Rich, when you showed the map at the last dealer we were at, you did a Google search of behavioral health just in the northwest corner of that actual city? What type of reaction did you get?
I think we had some people looking real close at that map at the names that were up there, because I don't think that all of those organizations were on the radar. I think that it was surprising. I'm more surprised that Google Maps has become that kind of utility for me right now. We can just start looking at verticals and pop them up within a 10, 20, 30 mile radius. And if you're having a call blitz day, let's make it happen, right?
Absolutely. That's another key thing we'll talk about in a quick second, a call blitz day. So to Rich's point, this vertical market, this specific subsegment of healthcare is first and foremost easily overlooked. And this gentleman who is intimately involved with the sales team, strategies, initiatives, progress, the whole thing, stood up, walked to the board, looked at the map and said, I don't think a single one of these is a current customer. The light bulb went off. And I said, well, so first of all, let's agree they're easily overlooked. Part two, these are not traditionally affiliated with a large healthcare network, which means that on a local, regional level, behavioral and mental long-term care facilities have the autonomy and the cash to make their own decisions. And that's huge. So when Rich talks about hospitals, the long drawn out process with RFPs, and it goes from maybe a purchaser to an IT person to the C-level, and then works its way back down. It's not the case with regional ambulatory behavioral health. Part three, and this is a big one, consistently out of compliance. This is the trifecta. This is what we're encouraging our partners around all of North America to do, is what I'm going to show you next. So in the chat, Rich, you can monitor that thing too if it pops up there. First person to type in this city wins a gift card. So what I did is I typed in this city and I hit nearby in Google Maps and I typed in behavioral health. This popped up, all of these locations. But look at the names: Northwest Behavioral, Mental Health Resource, Wolfson Children's, Renaissance, Baptist, River Point, Beacon Pediatric. Guys, these are individual regional names for clinics that provide an amazing service, especially during COVID times, that aren't primarily associated with a large healthcare network. It means they are overlooked. It means they have the autonomy to make decisions and the cash to do it. And they're currently out of compliance because not a single one of them does secure print release. Anybody type in the name? Did you get it?
I haven't seen it yet. No one's
All right.
taking a guess? Okay.
All right.
Jacksonville, Florida.
Crystal.
There you go.
Crystal did it. She saw on there the blue dot. It is Jacksonville. Crystal Cook, our very own Crystal Cook. She wins an all expense, not paid trip to the Bahamas with Martin. Okay, next one. Jump on this one. I'm not going to tell you the town. Here's another one. Did the exact same thing. This is more in the south of the Mason-Dixon, a little more central, kind of a mountain town. Or I think 16 locations here. 3, 2, we got Vitalis, Southeastern, Park Ridge. Uh-oh, Chattanooga Behavioral Alliance.
Yep,
and
Jerry, let's see who's got it. Nope, Doug's got it. Doug's got it.
Doug does?
Yep, Doug Murphy's got it.
Doug Murphy, 16 locations. There's that one. Now let's get a little bit more obscure. We're going to go up onto Big Water. What Big Water, you ask? I don't know. You tell me. Where's this? Smaller regional location. Definitely not an NFL city, not an NHL city. Sure, they play a lot of hockey there. But there are 20 locations. There you go, James Driscoll. Jeff Price. Oh, man, both of you. Dynamite. Chris McFeeters does not count. You cheated. That's Erie, PA. So I don't know what the population is of Erie. What do you think? It's 120,000, Rich? Greater Metro?
Yeah, maybe, if you're lucky.
Stairways, Deerfield, Lecom, Barber, Wagner, Deerfield, Lake Erie, Stairways. They're all in there. They're all in there. Let's do one more. This is too much fun.
I got to go to the tape on this one though, Jeff, to be honest, because I think that we had a couple people come in on it. So I think I know at least Damon, Michael, and I see a couple other names might all be getting gift cards because it was a photo finish.
Okay, let's just do that.
Let's do that.
It feels like the right thing to do.
It does.
Okay, boom, we switched. We're in the Southwest. Oh, man. And what am I seeing here? Another 16, 15 locations? Mesa Vista, Team Builders, Cerna, Children's, Early, Neosis. Oh, I don't know why Harry's Roadhouse showed in, but that sounds like a fun place.
We have a couple in on this.
Jeff Price is fast. The price is right. You know what I mean? Yep, it is Santa Fe. So don't overthink this. In your sales meetings, one of y'all needs to go in there with this Google search on a slide, pop it open, or don't tell anybody else in your company that you're just doing it. If you're a geo rep, type in your zip codes, find out where these places are, and approach them. And be the authority. You know, from a print management, user management perspective, we're the #1 provider of mental health solutions when it comes to compliance around customer, patient, constituent, document management, whatever those things are. Come up with your talk tracks. Be the expert on them. Reach out to somebody. Touch someone on this. Okay. So, Rich, the campaign that you're working on with a dealer right now, we kind of bounced over these a little bit. Can you bring us up to speed with the level of detail that you're participating in their strategy to go after mental behavioral health?
Sure. So we proposed the idea of supporting some efforts around this market, as we're doing with a lot of our resellers now. And anybody on the call, work with your RSM. We can make this happen. We have SMEs in the healthcare space that are helping to drive this right now, Maggie and Anthony. And so from that first initial meeting where we discussed it was worthwhile to start to venture forward, we've had another meeting where we've wrapped in marketing resources, not only from a reseller, but also from our side. And this is happening all over the country with different resellers right now. And what they need from us, we're providing, and what they have already, we're talking through and making sure that everybody's aligned. And then we have another milestone call coming up here in the near future as we progress towards a sales training. So we have sales training content on the calendar, and then that's followed by blitzes in offices. So sales teams getting trained and then taking that message to the street. And we're wrapping some spiffs, some cool stuff around that, encouraging good behavior. But I think the point on this, Jeff, and this is the whole point of the webinar, if everybody hasn't picked up on it yet, but there's tons of expertise, resources. We see things all over the world, North and South America. We hear things, and our goal here is to make our resellers better. So if we can help in any way, I'm sure this is not going to be the last program we roll with, but certainly we put a lot of energy around healthcare, and we're here to help you deliver that into your markets. So,
absolutely. Absolutely. I pulled some numbers for a dealer buyer group meeting in Denver last month. And since July 1st, so it had been, I think, the middle of August, so about 45 to 50 days, our net new education licenses were about 250. So no surprise, middle of the summer, we sell more into education. About a quarter of that, though, was healthcare. So at about 75 to 80 in that same 45 days, we denote in our CRM what vertical market that license went into, and it's been healthcare. So I encourage you to not just listen to me and Rich, but these podcasts that have great nuggets of information and wisdom that you guys can share. Use the resources on our new website. Use the resources forthcoming on our app, October the 4th. Reach out to your regional sales manager and ask about strategies around healthcare specifically. We can do stuff pre-contest. We can do stuff during. We can meet with your customers to talk about how we've helped other healthcare institutions. There are just a myriad of resources that I hope you guys are leaning into. And the last thing I'll share with you is I took the advice of how humility and bravery can help your career on that how to be a better human. And I hadn't talked to somebody in over a year. I really wish I had. Things have kind of gotten quiet. And I fired this off. I said, hey, man, I just wanted you to know I was thinking about you. Not like that, but in the less stalky, more friendly type of way. Cheers. And he got a ha-ha on there. And he says, hi, buddy. Hope all is well. And that made my day. That made my day. So I have a foundation from which to call back, to engage, to talk about where things are and where we might be able to go together. So that's it for us. We wanted to roll through a couple things. If you want a copy of this, by all means, reach out to your sales rep and ask for it. I'll distribute immediately after this. But I thank you guys for jumping on, using the resources that are available. Mark your calendars, Monday, October the 4th. Download the ACDI app, log in, get familiar with the content. And the first 8.5 million people that log in get a shirt just like Rich's. So that's where I'm at.
One of a kind, Jeff. One of a kind shirt.
One of a kind. Rich, I'm good. I hope this was helpful. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I would get back to that pool party behind me is what I'm really thinking right now. But honestly, I think that this was great. Not just speaking from my role here and Jeff, obviously what you presented and talk about, but definitely, leverage the teams. I saw a couple questions in there around specific collateral and specific things. If you don't see it on the website, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist either. But the point of all this is you have a team to wrap around you to help you make these things possible. And that's what we do every day. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I hope this was a good use of your time. If you don't know who your resource is at ACDI, feel free to find me or Jeff and we'll find your resource. But our team's ready. We're ready to go. We're ready to rock. We've been doing well all year and excited about what next year is bringing here in the next couple months. Only 4 months left in this year. That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's nuts.
All right.
That's nuts. And we got to get through this month to wrap up an awesome quarter that you guys have significantly contributed to. It's been phenomenal. We're blowing away 2020 numbers, of course, but we look at 2019 because that was our flagship banner, unbelievable year. And we are above 2019's record pace. So thank you guys very much. For those of you who dropped nice comments in here about this was good. Appreciate the nuggets. Thank you guys for the feedback. I appreciate it. And email sales at Rich. Question was, where'd you get your shirt? Oh, you're on mute.
There's a website called Results. I hear that every day, Jeff. Sorry. A website called Results. And whoever sent that comment out, I'll send you the link. There's a whole bunch of them. There's really great shirts out there.
Absolutely. Awesome. Okay. Y'all have a great day. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you soon. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.